Welcome in, listeners, to Show Your Work podcast. We're really excited to have you along this journey with Mitch and I on this beautiful podcast of sports by two amateurs who think they know what they're doing. If you haven't checked us out on socials, please check us out at Show Your Work Boys on IG and YouTube, and also Show Your Work podcast on TikTok. And if you don't remember me saying that, which you probably won't because it's going to be too long of an episode, we're going to drop those links right below. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Show Your Work podcast. We're really excited to have you all listening here today. And however you found us, we are just excited to be sharing our sports knowledge, which is not much, to you all today. Now, we're going to introduce ourselves, just kind of, jump in so you can get to know who the hosts are. So my name's Tony. I am from Franklin, Indiana. I am an amateur basketball player. I play in a men's league right now. And I also played in my B League intramural basketball league when I played in college. And I would like to tell you my stat line. My stat line was 8 points a game, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 fouls. So if that shows you how much I know about sports, let it run. So Mitch, I'm going to let Mitch introduce himself, the main man behind the pod.
What's up, everybody? Mitch Burley here. Former college baseball player. Played for 5 years, 3 different levels. Played sports my whole life. I actually have a much better basketball stat line, but it's from middle school. So I might have to pull those out one day and talk about those. But me and Tony were sitting around one day and talking sports, and I had the idea of, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that we think don't know too much about sports sometimes that have podcasts or talk about it. And we were like, might as well just go ahead and make our own. So that's what we're doing.
Mitch, the conversations we've had at 1 a.m. on a couch should have been recorded. I
Immaculate,
promise you.
dude. I mean, we tried to name 1,000 professional athletes within 5 minutes, and we were like pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, so we're just excited to have you all here. It's going to be a fun journey of either going viral or we're going to be talking to 5 of you. And either way, we're going to have a good time with it. We're going to talk about current event of sports, and we're just going to enjoy what we do. So,
Yes,
Mitch,
sir.
I would like to jump into the first topic of today.
Yeah, what's that, Tone?
Our first topic. The Super Bowl just happened recently.
Yeah, it was a fucking shitter, wasn't it, bud?
It wasn't a great game. And Mitch, I just want to get your thoughts on, the hype behind the game, how the game played, and, just, I don't know, the Super Bowl just didn't feel like the Super Bowl this year.
No, it didn't. And I don't know if that's partly because the Broncos should have been in the Super Bowl and the Patriots kind of got like a Mickey Mouse, like, what are they, AFC or NFC? AFC Championship,
AFC,
right?
yeah.
AFC Championship run. Like, it just feels like they didn't deserve it. They had a great year, and it's awesome how they rebounded with Vrabel and Drake May's second year, but like, they didn't deserve to be there. It was the Broncos game. And I mean, if Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, that's probably a historic Super Bowl that goes to OT, at least in my mind.
No, and I'm with you. And I think Bo Nix is a wonderful quarterback. And I think Drake May is a great quarterback too. I just think that we got kind of caught up in the hype of what the Patriots were, beating the Broncos 10-7 in an AFC championship
Yeah.
in snow. Like the Super Bowl felt off to me because Sam Darnold. Now, don't get me wrong, Sam Darnold revived his career. I'm proud of him.
Him.
The Seahawks, awesome defense. But we gotta see. I mean, I would have rather see the Seahawks Broncos, or if we're being honest, I would have rather saw Seahawks Bills if we could have got Josh Allen in there. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. I mean, I love Josh Allen. And I mean, you love when he plays because it's so explosive or like explosive either way. Either he does the coolest shit you've ever seen on a football field, or he makes
Hmm.
the dumbest mistake ever, and you're like, that was also cool. Like, it's every play is like something crazy is gonna fucking happen. You just don't know which way it's gonna go for the Bills.
Yeah, the way he's galvanized the quarterback position. That's one of my words. Galvanized. Check
Galvanized.
that one out.
Word of the day.
No, word of the day. It's just the way that I don't know. Anytime Josh Allen's playing a football game, I want to watch it. And
Oh
I
yeah.
also think he has a chance to win it, regardless of his team. Now, I know this goes away from the Super Bowl, but I just think that if you give him one receiver, goodness, give him someone not named Keon Coleman.
Dude,
Like
the Keon Coleman hate is crazy. It's crazy.
his own
Fuck the Bills
owner,
owner. Dude, the
Terry
Bills owner is a
Pagula.
piece of shit for that.
Terry Pagula said well, I didn't really want to draft Key. Like, that's crazy, So
Yeah,
I
and then
think
there's a
that,
clip of the GM being like, "Dude, we got to get Keon. We think he ran slow in his combine, so he's
yeah.
gonna fall to us." Dude, like, just own up for your mistakes. Like, oh my God.
No, I agree. And sorry, that was just a little off topic. I just think that talking about, the Broncos and the Bills just being there, that would have been a little more exciting. But honestly, on the Seahawks side, Mitch, I think that the Seahawks defense is just one of the best defenses I've seen in the modern era of football. The way they play, the toughness they play with, and they're not afraid to hit anybody. It's crazy.
I think there's one defense that I like watching more, and it's the Texans. And it's like the Seahawks defense, I think, is great because of their schematics and how well they play together. Um, but yeah, like all-time defense, they're not huge names either. Like you don't have 8 Pro Bowlers lined up on the defensive side of the ball. You got two, three, and that's Weatherspoon. It was Leonard Williams wasn't a Pro Bowler, I don't think. But like, yeah, you don't have the huge names like you usually do. You don't have Jared Verse. You don't have Brandon Fisk. You don't have like stud corners besides
Yeah.
Weatherspoon. You just have such good all around players that play well together and they all know their assignment. The one thing that I really loved seeing from the Super Bowl was I can't remember the DB's name, but it was the one I believe they had the pick late in the
Love.
third. Yeah, Love. And he was like, he's just a young quarterback. Like he's staring at his receiver to try and throw you off, but then he knows immediately where he's going. So that second look, break to it right away. Like things like that transcend the game and a defense being that good. They pick up on those little anomalies. They pick up on those trends, and they just before you even know you're doing it, they got you stuck.
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't know if you saw the clip, but the clip of Love on the bench talking to his teammates before that play even happens. He says, "Oh, when Drake puts his back foot in the ground, that ball's coming out."
Yep.
Right? So even just the foresight of knowing that's going to happen. I mean, generational defense. And as you
Oh
said,
yeah.
not many Pro Bowlers. It just reminds me of a team who just they're gonna get it done, man. Like that I watch them in games now. Granted, I did watch them play the Rams when it was 38-37, but that's a whole but they came in here and they said, you know what, like Sam Darnold is who Sam Darnold is, but with our defense, we can win any game. And that's why, to me, the Super Bowl wasn't as impactful as it usually is for me in years. It's because I already I believed in the outcome before it even
Oh yeah.
started. Like I hammered Seahawks to cover. I think they covered 5.5,
Dude,
which
I
is a
think they
crazy
covered every
line.
quarter.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't there was not one point in that game. There was 2 plays the Patriots put together, and that was the 2 Mac Hollins receptions that the second one was a touchdown, where I was like, that was pretty decent. There was no point in that game though where I was like, yeah, dude, the Patriots could come back here. Not one
No,
point.
not even a shot. And I mean, the Patriots aren't even, they're not even using, I mean, they're not even using one of their best players, in my opinion. Travion Henderson rots the bench, right? And he's
It's
so explosive. He's one of my fantasy guys,
yeah,
one of my guys. And it's just tough to see.
it's got to be a Vrabel thing because when he was at Tennessee, like I don't know if he got so used to having a back like Henry that he just kind of like leans towards Ramondre because Ramondre is more of a Derrick Henry build in run style. But like, yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. At least involve him in the passing game, bro. Like have him run bubble screens every once in a while. Have him like do something because it literally takes a half a second to score when you put the ball in his hands. Like he needs 20 touches a game.
Indeed. He has a different type of gear than Ramondre has.
Yeah,
He's got a different type of gear than 70% of running backs have
I would say
as a
more, but
rookie.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm just being, I'm being fair. I
yeah,
that like he's got second tier speed,
oh
but
yeah,
he's also got a little like power to it. And I know you didn't tell the fans, but you're an Ohio State fan, so you've watched Travion Henderson play
yeah.
for quite a while, and he's been great. He was great in college, and the way that just kind of played out this season, in the times when Ramondre was hurt, you thought, oh, Travion's about to take that step, and he
Dude,
never did.
yeah, what was it like week 4 or 5 where Mondre went down and Travion had the entire backfield to himself, and he puts up like 32 fantasy points, almost 150 yards all purpose in every game, and at least a
Yeah.
score. And you're like, oh, okay, he's here. Like Ramondre's gonna ride the entire year.
Yeah.
No, and I don't know if it's a rookie thing where they're not confident in him. Like, I know his pass blocking isn't great,
Yeah.
so that could play a big role in it because Drake got sacked a ton this year. But other than that, like, you got to think we got to score, and he's going to give us the best chance to score whenever he touches the ball.
I mean, the stretches, so you talk about Ramondre getting hurt, the stretches of games. I think he had a 52-yard run touchdown. He had like a 64-yard touchdown, and then I had like a 71. Like
People
the
forget the kick return. He had the kick return the first play of the year.
it's just, and this goes along with the Super Bowl because I just think that the Patriots could have played a different style of ball with Travion Henderson
Yeah.
than they have with Ramondre Stevenson. Because if you look at the Patriots on first down, they're not moving the ball ever, or they're going backwards. So then you get in these 1st and 14, 1st and 12 or
Hmm.
2nd and 14, 2nd and 12 situations, and they're running halfback draw
Yeah.
with a non-explosive running back. So
Hmm.
to me, it just didn't make sense. I think that the Patriots' game plan and just kind of their identity, I love it. Don't get me wrong. Their identity, Vrabel is bringing the Patriots back to something, which freaks me out. But it's also like it wasn't enough for the Seahawks. I think the other teams could have game planned better.
Yeah, and you're not like you don't have anybody on that side of the ball besides Travion that threatens to score every time they touch it. They don't have receivers. Like, dude, Stephon Diggs is your leading receiver as a I don't know, 30-year-old, 32-year-old. That's
Hmm.
I mean, he's not washed, but like he's not a stud wide receiver one that you can go to whenever you need him.
For
So
sure.
like you have to have something that threatens the offense. Like, I mean, this guy gets in the open field, like we might be done for.
Hmm. It,
And they just didn't
it's
have to play
crazy.
that.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. And back to the Ohio State thing on the other side of the ball. I mean, you got Travion on offense for the Patriots, but who's that leading receiver for the Seahawks? JSN, the man who, how do you say his last name? I'm not gonna ask
Shout out
Drewski,
Drewski.
but but dude, the thing that like JSN last year with DK Metcalf, don't get me wrong, and Cooper, him with DK Metcalf for sure. It was different. You saw it at OSU, and then he gets to the league, and you're like, okay, what is he? You know, because I always thought
Mm,
as like wide receivers from Ohio State that he was good, but I didn't think he was top tier, right? I I thought he was like a Chris Olave, which Chris Olave is great, but I think
yeah.
they're just better, better receivers. But goodness, JSN came into his own this year,
And
and
it's
it's
Emerald City Route
insane.
Runner, baby. Emerald City Route Runner. Like, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, it's Sam Darnold is not like it's not that he's not serviceable. It's just that we saw Sam Darnold with Justin Jefferson last year
Hmm.
put up crazy numbers. I think went 14-3 and lost in the first round.
Yep.
And
Yep.
my thought, I was like, okay, the difference is the defense. And I think I saw Stephen A. Smith was talk about all year how Sam Darnold wasn't that guy or he can't win games. Well, in the playoffs, Sam Darnold was great, but
Yeah.
it's also because of the factor of having JSN, Cooper Kupp. You got guys like AJ Barner, Jake
Yep.
Bobo, Kenneth Walker.
And you have such a reliable run game, dude. Like,
Oh my.
even with Charbonnet out, like K9 should be an RB1 somewhere. They need to
Yep.
let Charbonnet walk, or something needs to change in that backfield because
Hmm.
they're not doing K9 justice with him splitting time with Charbonnet.
Yeah. It sounds like we're pro franchise tag Kenneth Walker.
Dude, for sure. I mean, he might not like that because I know the franchise tag isn't always the greatest thing, but yeah, like I mean, he deserves his own backfield, dude.
I would take a franchise tag right now. I promise you that one.
Yeah, I would too, but
I don't
like,
have that opportunity, unfortunately, at
no,
5'6",
no.
and I'm in a men's basketball league, so I don't want to leave that. But it is what it is.
They
So,
treating you well over at the men's league, eh?
well, something like that. We're having a good time. But on like the topic of like, franchise tag and what the off season looks like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to ask you, Mitch, because I think that to get our perspectives of what this looks like next year, and it's really early, but early Super Bowl next year. They just released the colors for the Super Bowl, so that's kind of cool. But if you had
Yeah.
to put an early prediction out there, man, what are you thinking? Where are your thoughts at?
I mean, you can write the Seahawks off. No, sorry. Whoa. Not the Seahawks. The Eagles. Write
Okay.
the Eagles off. Eagles are
Oh,
done.
oh,
Eagles are toast. AJ Brown signed somewhere else.
okay.
Um, I mean, obviously you got to go Bo Nix. Like he should have been there this year. You got to think he's gonna at least be close again next year. I don't know if the Bills get back. Like firing McDermott was I on par, if not worse, than when the Titans fired Vrabel.
Yeah,
I think the Titans firing Vrabel was like probably one of the worst things I've seen a franchise do in a long time.
fair enough.
Um, I'm all in on these young quarterbacks. Like I think the Bears have a real shot, especially year two with Ben Johnson. Like they're electric. Their
Yep.
defense is terrible, but like Caleb's electric in that Ben Johnson offense. Um, I don't like the Vikings. JJ is the only young quarterback that I hate. Like,
Yeah, we know. We know you're a Michigan hater. We know. We know.
dude, it's not even
And
just
you
that.
drafted him on your fantasy team,
Yeah,
man. We
that was
know.
the nail in the coffin, dude. I heard so much JJ hype going into the year. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'll draft him in like the 12th round. I'll give him a shot. Who had a fake ankle injury for 5 weeks, then came back and was trying to throw the football with his left hand. Like, dude, it was so bad.
That's 9 though.
I love that 9 and Will Campbell edit, dude. They put them together. It was
That
so
9 edit,
bad.
man. It's that 9 edit.
What about you
Mitch.
though? Who do you think? Who do you like next year?
Well, Mitch, I didn't give me 2 definite teams, so then I can go off that.
Uh,
It's your early prediction, man.
I know. I didn't exactly think this far ahead. I don't have a Super Bowl prediction yet. You got catching me on my feet here.
Hey, that's the goal, man. Show your work.
Yeah, I know. I got to put in more work. No, I'm gonna go Bo Nix. I'm gonna go Bo Nix and the Rams. I'm gonna go the Broncos and the Rams. I like that.
That's just a great call. That's a great call, and you took that piece from me because I
Oh
didn't hear
yeah.
you talk about him yet. My NFC team, man, I'm telling you, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna shout out my roommate, one of my roommates, Gage. He's a Matthew Stafford lover right now because that's his fantasy quarterback. And let me tell you, Stafford's back, baby. Won the MVP. He said he's coming back next year.
Yeah.
He's got weapons. We gotta refine a couple things. Their defense lets up a little bit too many points.
Bro, the defense is good.
Yeah, but when you give up 38 to the Seahawks, again, we're not going to get there. But give me
Okay.
the Rams next year.
Yeah.
And this is my predict. Like I think 2027, and this is something we can have a little bit of fun with.
Okay.
But give me the Indianapolis Colts to make it to the Super Bowl next year. Daniel
Who's the
Jones
quarterback?
Daniel Jones re-signs this offseason. Okay, he's probably not going to play the first game or two. We've revamped this team. Pittman, yeah, I want to see Pierce. Pittman can go. It is what it is. But I want Alec Pierce on this team. Sauce is going to be back healthy. We're going to draft differently, even though we lost all our picks because we traded for Sauce.
Yeah.
But give me the Indianapolis Colts. As you can tell, I'm a Colts fan, and I think this every year.
No, I know. I know.
And I've been in a carousel since Luck, and it's time.
I don't hate it. I just okay. Daniel Jones could be the best thing and also the worst thing to happen to the Colts in the next 10 years. Now, that's because he led them to what, 8-3, top of the
8-2.
division, 8-2. And they were soaring. Like
Oh
how
my
it is.
goodness.
It was literally like Super Bowl or bust. Obviously, it's not his fault he snapped his Achilles. It sucks. And Sauce. But I mean, is there a power plant next to the Colts practice facility too, like the Niners? Like, what's going on?
I hate to tell you, I think it's just Indiana in general because Tyrese Halliburton snapping his Achilles might have been the start, and I love that man, and I hate that for everyone in Indy.
I know, but I mean, he could be the best and worst thing that happened to him because like your Super Bowl or bust, you trade for Sauce. Like, I mean, I was bought in. I was like,
Yeah.
deep playoff run at minimum, right? But then he goes down, and you gave all those picks away for Sauce. Like, if they don't do it within the next 3 years with Daniel Jones, you might be fucked for 10 years. Like, and that's the sad truth.
And I get that, and I've seen the reports because I'm not gonna lie, I've had thoughts on this for quite a while. I've seen the reports of doing a salary trade to where we have the Dolphins pay the first year of Tua's salary and we trade for Tua.
Oh,
I'm good on that right now. I like the idea originally. I will say that. So you can hate me for that, any Colts fans listening. But I just I think that we've got something, and I hate it because I'm a big hope. I'm a hope person, and I've got hope in this team. I've got hope in what we're doing. I think what Carly Ursay Gordon has got going on. Not a big Chris Ballard guy, but we've let him run it. We're gonna let him run it again. I think that I just want to say it because I want to manifest it, one. But
mhm.
two, I think Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year, with that offense, with
It's got a
Jonathan
good ring
Taylor
to it.
humming behind our offensive line. Jonathan Taylor's your fancy RB1.
I know, I know. It
So
was
I
fun. It was a
just
fun ride.
it was, man. Got to the championship. You just ran
Me
to
and
a
you,
buzzsaw.
me
Ran
and
to a
you, brother.
buzzsaw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, when the rest of the league doesn't know how to trade, I mean, that's what
Okay.
you
All
get.
right. All
But
right.
I mean, we
But
can get into that if we want to.
no, 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 no. We won't jump down that horse. But I think the Colts come back. I think there's vengeance in that locker room. I think that there's been a lot of years of tears of um, you know, the drop ball when we played the Texans to not having a starting quarterback for the last 10 years since Luck, you
Just
know.
renting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think it's our time. So that's where I'm at with the Super Bowl, man, and that's where I'm at with next year's Super Bowl. I hope that next season's just fun. I hope that there's, great opportunities. I hope the lines are set well by Vegas. I hope we're able to, capitalize off of FanDuel or DraftKings or whatever you use.
Whatever
Um,
sports book anybody uses.
yeah,
Shout
and
out, no sponsorship.
shout out, no sponsorship, but it will be such a I can't wait for football. I hope that
Yeah,
you and the listeners know that like this stretch of time until you get to like March Madness, the Masters, like this is a time of where sports are kind of
depression.
that's yeah. So you got
Yeah,
to keep raising it. So it's a tough goodbye to football, but we're
it
looking forward
is.
to it.
I think one thing that I'm surprised you didn't hit on is Riley Leonard coming in after Daniel Jones. And I mean, he impressed me, like, especially because I had no expectations. Like, I
Yeah.
got to see him play in the national championship, and it was literally running back mode. Like, it was straight Lamar in his first 2 years in the league. Like, it was
Hmm.
just, he don't do nothing but run the ball. And he comes in and he plays really solid for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't think that he should be written off lightly. I think that there's a shot that he could potentially play well and be the starting quarterback.
Yeah. No, and that's fair. And I think Riley Leonard, dog. He's got game. I also didn't mention Anthony Richardson, which I hope you know, you know. Uh, hey, if Anthony has a resurgence, he has a resurgence. But no, Riley Leonard is just he's such a good dude, and he's such
Hmm.
like a surgical. He's got like surgical quarterback qualities. Like
Yeah.
I think he'll build the IQ. I think he can already read a defense, but I think he'll just see it as reps go. That's why I really like Daniel Jones coming back because I'm a believer in, your quarterbacks at some point when they're young, they've got to sit. Like I
Yeah.
don't think just throwing players to the wolves is always the best scenario. If we take Anthony Richardson, for example, I understand. Third pick in the draft, you want to see him play. We haven't
Yep.
had a franchise quarterback in years. But dude, I mean, you saw what he was in college, right? And now we're at a point where you saw what he was in college. You never gave him the chance in the NFL, and we're about to give up on a dude in his first 3 years of the NFL.
Yeah.
Where, in my opinion, when he leaves and he goes and plays for another franchise, he's going to be awesome because he's going to get a chance to develop.
Yeah. And I mean, you have that, like, there's always those scenarios, and I feel like it's very dependent on the player. Like Sam Darnold, perfect example, was at three different organizations before he got to the
Yeah.
Seahawks, ends up thrive, or before the Vikings, ends up thriving with the Vikings, people think it's a fluke. The Vikings don't re-sign him, and then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. But then you also have like Justin Fields, who
Yeah.
it hurts my soul, but the dude's not an NFL quarterback. He can't win in the league, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference is from a Sam Darnold type to a Justin Fields type, but there's got to be something going on mentally because it's not Justin Fields' like capability on the field. It's not his athleticism. It's not his arm. Like it has to be something else because the dude was a freaking stud in college.
It's crazy. All I can think of is when they won that really rainy game and he did the
Hmm.
slide in
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah,
Like, and I say that because seeing his smile, dude, like that's what quarterbacks
I
need.
know.
They need that confidence and that happiness to play and that joy of playing, football. And
Mm,
I just don't think he had it or has had it for a while since like that season where the Bears were like, "Hey, we're going to give you a real opportunity." Then they went and
yeah,
drafted Caleb.
yeah.
But in their defense, do you trade that pick? Do you trade Caleb Williams, who is
No, you can't.
generational?
You
You
can't.
can't, right? So it's very unfortunate what happened to Justin Fields, and I think Justin Fields and Anthony Richardson are great examples of what could have been.
Hmm.
Had the archetype to be a Cam Newton, a Lamar Jackson, but
Yeah,
just was it opportunity? Was it confidence? Was it the coaching staff? We'll never know. And that's the one thing that unfortunately they won't make a documentary about guys like that. But
yeah,
those are great dudes who have shown great character who just either didn't get the shot they wanted or got the shot and the confidence just wasn't there.
yeah. The sports what ifs just hurt your soul, man.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's a part of it.
It is a part of it. Well, Mitch, I think that the Super Bowl next year, I think football's gonna look bright. Hopefully, it's gonna be a great time. And honestly, between segments, I think this is a great time to shout out, a sponsor that we have for our
Yeah,
episode.
man. We go ahead and get into our first ad read. Um, all right. This episode is brought to you from the people over at Finkeldorf's. Finkeldorf's is a family owned and run grocery store. They've been serving quality products at wholesale prices for over 200 years. Yes, that's right, people. 300 years. I just bought some chicken for a stir fry dish the other day at Finkeldorf's. Immediately got food poisoning. So shout out to Finkeldorf's for helping me lose 10 pounds in 3 days. Um, Not going to get on that Ozempic, but I will be on that Finkeldorf's chicken. Uh, they don't actually exist, so maybe go to a real grocery store. But shout out Finkeldorf's.
Finkeldorf's it's magical the way the Finkeldorf's moves in these
I
last
know.
300 to 500 years, whatever
Yeah,
whatever
who
you
knows?
just
Who knows
stated.
how long they've been open?
Yeah. Well, Mitch, I want to get into the next topic because
Yeah.
I got the juices flowing, the Super Bowl going. Let's get into college football.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting past the Super Bowl, getting past what college football was. What a season! What a season of college football. In a good way for me, in a bad way for you.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
let you just describe what's going on in your brain.
I want to, before I talk about anything and get into IU, I do, I do think that NIL is great for college football,
Hmm.
but I think there needs to be some sort of cap, um, some sort of spending limit because you are going to have the big guys always have a more talented roster, and everything like that. And I don't think that a team like IU will ever be able to replicate that because of the inflow of money that has just come into the sport.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, let's get into IU.
Mitch, can I jump in on that NIL thing real quick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because I think NIL in the beginning was a great, and I hate that I agree with you on this, but NIL in the beginning was a wonderful idea because there were a lot of athletes who were superstars doing what
yeah.
they're
Hmm.
doing, whether it's basketball, football, skiing, I don't know, lacrosse, like awesome
Water
athletes,
polo.
right? Water polo. Let's not dog on water polo, all right? But there are like a lot of athletes who were just not being able to capitalize off their name, image, or likeness at the time, and they were just having to buy a $5 Little Caesars, which is nothing wrong with Little Caesars. If they want to sponsor, they can, right? We
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
open.
We're
This is the time. We are open.
accepting applicants for
Yeah,
sponsorships
because
currently.
Finkeldorf's is not the move, but
Yeah.
it was a great idea. I think that the way it's moving is that it's moving towards like a pro lifestyle. And instead of the end goal being, okay, let's get a degree, get a job, or let's go to the NFL,
Hmm.
the goal has now been, how do I stay in college long enough and get my net worth here? So then I set myself up for the future, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I do think that people are taking advantage of it in light.
Oh, for sure. Any good situation that you're going to offer someone, like there's going to be people trying to take advantage of it. But
Yeah.
if you look at Diego Pavia, you look at, I know there was a quarterback from, I believe it was North Texas, who was 31, but he was 31 because he enlisted in the military out of high school, still had eligibility, and came back. Like, there's always going to be stories to where people try and take advantage of it in a good light or a bad light. Like, you can't have 28-year-olds playing college football.
Yeah.
And I think there was someone that just got granted their 10th year of college football, 8th or ninth, 10th year. But you can't just be doing that for the money. If
Hmm.
you've already made your money, you've played your 4 years of eligibility, you can't be going to the NCAA board and being like, I demand a fifth year, like Trinidad and Diego.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I think it's good in a sense to where there's a lot of people that come from tough backgrounds and are able to provide not just for themselves, their entire families. All right, getting back into like there's people that come from really tough backgrounds that single families, like
Hmm.
single parent households that like they can provide for their whole family.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge part of why it's important that there still is NIL and money in it. It just can't get too far away from the fact that we're not here to make these kids rich beyond their wildest dreams. We're here to compensate them for their work so that they can help themselves out and be able to pay for things that they need to pay for, as well as helping out their family. And it's
Yeah.
just rewarding them more.
Yeah,
Um,
and I hope that, honestly, I think what needs to happen, and I think in college basketball too, I think it just needs to happen across, is that there needs to be either like a committee or there needs to be like a chairman of NI, or like how the league
yeah,
moves and the salary cap and whatnot, because we're moving towards a pros game in college, and that's
for
okay,
sure.
right? But we need to put rules and regulations behind it. So not only we're helping the student athletes, but we're also helping out the schools and the viewers of the sport, because without the
Yeah,
viewers of the sport, there's no revenue.
no, I agree. And then moving into my next talking point about NIL. Sorry, I'm getting a little burpy today.
It's all good.
So I saw a stat. I kind of didn't believe it just because
Hmm.
of the school's historically bad athleticisms,
Yep.
athletic sports, like everything across all basketball, football, baseball, like everything. They suck. What school do you think is $437 million in debt just in athletic funding from NIL?
Oh, I just read about that. I have no idea. Of course, I want to say Ohio State to be funny, but you're going to tell me who it is.
It's Florida State.
Oh, I did read about that. Yeah, Florida
Yeah,
State.
like,
And that stuff, they were paying like Jordan Travis money.
dude.
Dang.
Okay, this is the school that signed DJ Ungalele.
Is that how you say it?
Ungalele,
Sure.
Ugalele. I
I
don't
don't
I
know.
don't know how to say it.
No, that's fair, right? And he was bad.
Dude, he wasn't just bad. I mean, like, okay, I think there needs to be a study done
Hmm.
on whoever was around him, as well as the evaluators for high school athletics that made him a 5 star.
Yeah.
Then we need to talk about the coaches who saw him play at Clemson and then said, yeah, we'll still give him a chance. And then we need to talk about the fucking Chargers because they signed him. Like,
Well,
dude, how many times can you bamboozle someone and be that bad at football?
honestly, good for him. Good for him, honestly. Win the system at this
No,
point,
for
right?
sure.
Like we're talking about, but it is crazy. I think the Chargers just know. They know that Justin Herbert is stable. So they're like, hey, let's just
I
get
mean,
someone in
they
there.
had at one point in the preseason, it was Trey Lance and DJ Ugalele fighting for the backup position. And it's like, oh my God, dude, if Trevor Herbert goes down, you're not winning a game.
Yeah. Then it's just it's wild beyond what is happening with NIL. And I think that honestly. It is changing the game of college football.
Mhm.
And that's where I kind of want to transition into the college football. Like it's still NIL, but I want to transition into the college football scheme of what just happened this year.
Yeah.
You've got the schools, and again, no hate, kind of hate, right? You've got the schools like Ohio State. You've got the Alabamas, the LSUs of the world,
Uh-huh.
right? And who's that? Who?
You're gonna
Who?
love my
Who?
answer, dude.
Who's yours? Right? Like 16-0 comes out of nowhere. Signetti comes in here and builds a program. Now, thank you, Mark Cuban, for sending us some money, right? But a
Yeah.
bunch of dogs. It's like the Seahawks story, man. It came out of nowhere for me. I knew we were good. I didn't know we were 16-0 in the national championship good.
You want to know what the missing piece was last year? Like IU was good last year, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, not against good teams like Ohio State, but um,
Beat them
they were
this
good
year.
last
But
year. This year, we could talk about that later.
okay.
I have a good rant for that.
Okay.
But the separator was Mendoza, not for his on the field playing. It was actually for his IT skills because IU has been hacking into the cloud of every team they play and stealing the scripts.
Oh, is that's your believer?
You didn't know this?
I I just think that I'm going to go against you on that one because first off, that hurts. That hurts that you're attacking IU like that, right? But understandable, right? This is what this is. The difference was Mendoza. You're right. And it was not only his on-field skills, but it's who he is as a person, man. I mean, I know you don't like it. I
He's
know
a
you
Goldman
you think
Sachs banker.
and that's okay because you want to know what he did? He won the Heisman and he took us to 16-0, won the
The
national
worst
championship.
Heisman race in 85 years.
And that's tough. What I remember was being at Lucas Oil Stadium when we won 13-10 and Caleb Downs is walking off the field knowing that his last game will be against the Miami Hurricanes.
I
That
mean,
made me feel good.
it's pretty easy to beat a team when you have a kicker miss shorter than an extra point.
Yeah.
And he just, like, dude, we haven't had a kicker going back to Henry Ruggles. I'm going to throw it back for you. I believe
Fair
it's
enough.
2022,
Pause.
2023. Georgia, Ohio State, college football playoff, first round.
I remember this
Goes
game.
into OT. Noah Ruggles lines up, kicks the game winner, 50 yards. Shank job. Dude, we have never had a good kicker, and you can't be as good as Ohio State is every year and just not have a kicker. Thank God we went and got the Baylor dude because
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have handled another year of Jaden Fielding. I'm sure Jaden Fielding's a great kid. I'm not trying to come at him personally,
No,
but
it's fair.
God, dude, it's so frustrating, especially being put in the position like if we go to OT in that game, it's a different ball game. If we have a kicker, he missed 2 kicks in that game, in that Big Ten championship game. It's a different game. Like that's a 3-point lead instead of tying it up. Like it's just inexcusable to not have a kicker when you spend $10 million on a roster, bro.
Yeah. And I love that take from you because you're saying if you went to overtime, the game is different, right? And I believe that. If you go to overtime, the game is definitely different because there's more time, whatever. But you talked earlier about the fun what ifs of sport. You can keep that as a what if because I know
No,
what we
you're
did. We put BTA, baby. But
okay. I
again,
don't know if we want to go BTA. That's a little
okay.
That's
Let
pushing
me.
it.
Okay, everyone, I'll take that one back. 13-10 was, but I will say,
Like that. Will you agree with me that that was the national championship?
I will agree that I would have rather saw those two teams playing the national championship than us against Miami, right?
But
And
I'm saying, like, actually, Miami did play well.
Miami
I
played
can't
really
even say
well.
that.
But
I
here's the
know.
thing. But
And they
did
beat
Miami?
us.
No, they did beat you. But I will. Here's where we talk
That
about the
was
what
more of a
ifs of
belt to
sport.
ass than the IU game.
But here's what we talk about with the what ifs of sport. Why is Miami in the field? Right? I get it. They're one of the best teams in the country. But the way that the committee is set, why are they in the field? Right? So if you ask me what the national championship should have been, it should have been IU Ohio State. Because in my opinion, Notre Dame gets in. Just
Yeah.
because of the way it was ranked, right? And I understand they have the head to head, but that brings a whole new argument into it. But I do want to stay here with this Indiana Ohio
Yeah.
State thing because these are two different programs that are trending, I believe, in the same direction. Just one of them at a more
Unfortunately, yes.
astronomical rate, right? But I want to talk about that because a IU fan, Ohio State fan, and we've had
Hmm.
our, the first year that Signetti came here, you guys whooped up on us. I remember the block
Yeah.
punt. That
It was like
was not a good
38 to
time.
3 in the third quarter, and then we put the backups in, and you came back, and it's like, well, yeah, you can't fucking do
What?
that.
And we were in the same room together, and I mean, you're an unbearable sports fan to watch with. Let me just tell the fans. And I used to be that way. I think I'm getting better, but I'd like to like bring that as just like where we are now.
Yeah.
It's like I understand if overtime happens, maybe we lose that game, and we might. That is how sports works, right? Like if Tyrese doesn't tear his Achilles in Game 7, do we win the finals? I would like to say we do, but that's a
Huh.
what if, right? But it's cool to see the Big Ten and especially these two teams because my friends are fans and I'm a fan
Hmm.
of IU. It's cool to see where these teams are trending because everything's going in the right direction. Like with Indiana, Kurt Signetti is going to rebuild. It's going to be awesome. But if you look at Ohio State, Julian Sayin is a young quarterback, so he gets another year at least to play. And now he's got Jeremiah Smith and hopefully
Chris
Chris
Henry.
Henry
We
Jr.
mean, hopefully he signed. He put that
I was
pen to
just
paper.
well, again, it's college football, but it's anyone moves, right? You can always sign out of a national intent, but I think he's going to stay, right? And it's just really cool to see where the Big Ten is going. I
Hmm.
do think the Big Ten is the premier college football
Oh,
pro,
without a
like
doubt.
it without a doubt, and just the way that I don't know, it's magical to me that that we went 16-0, win the national championship with I think eight 4 stars, no 5 stars. Mendoza was great. I understand what you mean by the Heisman was a bad race, but the Heisman's the Heisman, right? Like
Yeah.
it's an award. You can't just say, "Hey, we're not going to give out the award," because I do think, and this again, I'm biased. He was better than Pavia. Pavia, I just don't. Let me not get into Pavia.
I don't know, dude.
I I think the only thing that gives Pavia the edge is that Pavia was a 5'9" quarterback doing what he did at Vanderbilt. Right?
And he
Understandable.
ran.
Fernando
Like,
ran too. Did you see the national championship run?
brother, he had one. Like, dude,
How do I
Diego
do
had
that? Are you
five
ready? You
times.
ready?
I don't even
Dive
know
in
what
the end
that
zone.
is.
I'm
Don't even know
diving
what
in the
that
end
is.
zone, man.
Diego had, I don't even know how many more rushing yards and rushing touchdowns and like all purpose touchdowns. Bro, if you really want to dive into Mendoza's performances, like if you go check the stats, he
Hmm.
played Oregon, Ohio State. I'm trying to think of their other big games. Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how we're counting that a big game, but whatever. And someone else. He had like in 4 or 5 games against
Hmm.
tough opponents, 2, 3 passing touchdowns and more picks than touchdowns. And if you want
Sure.
to look at his completion percentage down the field, I think he completed 4 passes further than 20 yards downfield in the entire playoffs.
Okay.
So, and I hate giving Mendoza hate, but
No,
it's
you
just
love
my
it. No,
it's
no, no,
it
no, 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 no. Get on the record right now. You love this. You texted me the day that he won the Heisman. You said this is the worst day for college football.
and I don't know if I was 100% wrong with that or not. But like, dude, awesome kid. You want to root for him. But I can't get behind that somehow he's the number one overall pick. I can't get behind like he did win a national championship and a Heisman. I just like I can't wrap my brain around it. And I don't know if that's because the stereotype for college players has been like all ball and he's just like he doesn't come off as all ball to me. Like I don't the LinkedIn gimmick is so weird. like it
You're just a
it
hater, man.
screams Josh Rosen. Like the dude got drafted like 10th overall and was like, there's 5 quarterbacks drafted before me that are gonna pay. Like I mean Fernando's gonna go number one, but I feel like he's gonna
Yeah.
be on LinkedIn as a Goldman Sachs banker in 8 years.
Well, I just think first off, there's a lot of hate in your words, and
Yes, I
understandably, you're
know.
mad. You're mad, and that's fine, right? That's fine. We were better than you this year, and I'm gonna put that on the record.
You
But
were
leave
better
it.
than
No,
our shitty kicker.
this guy's okay. Show your work, everybody. But hear me out. I understand, and honestly, I would like to go look at Pavia's stat because, like, I never really. I'll be honest. I never really took the deep dive into Pavia's
Hmm.
stats against because playing in the SEC, you play teams like Alabama.
Yeah. Who we beat.
No, and that's dope, right? And Alabama made it to the college football playoffs. Vanderbilt did, and that's a whole nother conversation, right? I think that
Hmm.
Vanderbilt, they're talking about extending the college football. We might as
So
well extend it
stupid.
to six. We might as well extend it to 64 teams,
Just
like March
make it
Madness.
March Madness, but for football.
Yeah, and only play a quarter. Um,
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying with the stats and everything. I understand Heisman, Player Award, whatever. In those 4 or 5 games with those 3 passing touchdowns, how many wins he have? He won them all, right?
yeah.
And if you look at those games, like I think of the games like
Iowa was the other
Oregon,
one. Iowa was the other one.
Iowa. If especially I look at games like Iowa, Oregon. I agree with you. Why is Penn State a featured game? They were
Yeah,
terrible. At Penn State's cool, right? But
they were
they had
trash.
fired James Franklin
Who they shouldn't have been in that close of a game with Penn State to begin with, but
because they were bad, right? So Ohio State, I
terrible.
think, beat them by 17, 21.
I don't know. It was 3 scores for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 scores for sure, right? But you look in those games, you look at the intangibles. Iowa throws a game-winning touchdown. Surratt. I know it was a little slant. That's a game-winning touchdown. Penn State, Cooper's amazing catch in the back, but that's led by Fernando's drive.
That was a
Oregon
throwaway ball. That was a throwaway ball for sure. That's something you'll never change my mind about. I genuinely think he was trying to throw that ball away.
Everyone drop in the comments an L for Mitch. Interrupting my segment. No, I'm just kidding. But Oregon throws the pick six, comes
Yep.
back, leads a drive. Right? I just think that he has intangibles that just made him that just made him better. And they were 16-0. Now, the one thing I will agree with you on is he the number one pick in this draft? Yes. Is he the number one pick in any other draft in the past couple of years with quarterbacks? No,
I don't
he's
even think
not.
he's the number one pick in this draft.
Over who?
Caleb Downs, Orville Reese. I'm taking Ruben Bain. I'm
No,
taking
no,
I'm taking
not for the Raiders
I'm
though.
taking Jeremiah Love.
Not for the Raiders though. The Raiders, it's time. Like you got to figure it out. Like
The
and I
Raiders.
understand if it was someone different. I think I'll say this: if it was like the New York Jets, I'd consider not taking Fernando. I'd be like, you know what? We'll wait another year because next year's draft class is stacked with quarterbacks.
It is.
But I just the thing I agree with you, and again, we should focus on the portion I'm agreeing with, is that is he the number one pick this year? Yes, you're going to take him because you need a quarterback. Is he better than what Caleb was? No. Give me some other quarterbacks who were just drafted. Is he
I don't.
better than?
You're better
Was
than
he?
Caleb?
Well, no, I'm saying he's not better than Caleb when he
No,
came out
I
of
know.
college.
I'm just. I don't like. I mean,
He's
number
not
one
better than
quarterbacks.
he wasn't. He's not better than Stroud when he came out of Ohio State, in my
No,
opinion. I think Bryce Young is a better quarterback. He doesn't have the size, but like coming out of college, Bryce Young was accomplished.
oh yeah.
You know, like and those are just a couple names. I just think that I do think that people are missing on the fact that this draft class is weak at quarterback.
Oh, it's terrible.
Dante Moore just backed out of the draft because he
Who
knows he
should
didn't
have
want
been
to
the
go to the
number one
Jets.
pick? Who would have been the number one pick?
Well, we put BTA on that guy. So, but again, bad performance. But I think that Fernando Mendoza was a key piece for college, and I think he's a great college quarterback. We're going to learn if he's going to be a good NFL quarterback or not. I don't have those predictions. I think he's a great dude, and
Yes,
that's
he
got
is.
to it's got to stink when you're talking about a quarterback, and your first comment is that he's a great dude. That's
It
when you
doesn't
know.
stink. It doesn't stink. Like, and I want to remind everybody, like, because I'm definitely more of a hater than Tony is. Like, I'm never trying to attack these people personally.
Yeah,
I'm sure if I met all of them, they're great people or
yeah,
upstanding citizens. Like, they're genuine people. But
hmm
this, like, objectively, we're only grading them on like their sports accomplishments, their
yeah,
performances, what we think is going to happen. Like, I really want to hit that home because, like, I'm never trying to be like, I hate this dude and I hope
yeah,
he like never does anything. Like, I hope I'm wrong about Fernando,
yeah,
but
yeah. You're
I
not.
mean, it's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
we're not here again. Yeah, I'll double down on that. We're not here to attack anyone's values. We're not here to
Yeah.
attack anyone's character traits. We're here to judge football in an amateur
Mhm.
way. And no, I agree. And that's when I say you're hating on the football player, right? But
No, for sure. Yeah.
I don't yeah, we never mean yeah, because Fernando, I mean, besides his Chat GPT answers that he sends out in the post game, right?
Yeah.
I mean he's a great dude, and I'm glad that he gives he gives it all. He's a
He
dog. So
does. He does. I think the most impressive thing I seen from Fernando specifically, and a quarterback in a giant game like that recently, was the opening play of the Ohio State IU game. Caden Curry comes off the line unblocked and just rocks him.
yeah,
Fernando's bleeding from his mouth, jogs to the sideline. His brother comes in for a play, and Fernando's right back. I was like, God, dude, I was like, we really just gave him the best hit that we could, and he's not phased. Like, that was so impressive to me, and
yeah,
that's the like one of the one points that I will give him till without a doubt. Like, that was super impressive.
yeah. And I'd like to also point out there. So I was at that game. Caden Curry is an Indiana native, Center Grove
He
grad.
is, he is,
So
he's a dog too.
he's a dog. I wish him
Better
luck.
stats than Ruben Bain. No one wants to talk about that, but
And he's going to the draft this year. Like I wish him
yeah,
success in the NFL, man.
yeah.
Success, dude. Indiana kids, man. Two Indiana guys, man. Where you are, you're not an IU guy, but an Indiana guy. I'd
I
say,
just
even though
I just grew up with too many of them, dude. It's like,
that's fair.
and the IU fans were always more insufferable than Purdue fans, so that's why the hate went more towards IU.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
I was
And I
born in
know.
Ohio though, so
Oh
like
yeah.
that's
Oh
why
okay.
Ohio State.
You guys can see how much I know about this guy, but we're gonna learn a lot because we're gonna show our work. I do want to. So I know we spent a lot of time on the IU Ohio State conversation,
Hmm.
right? Which I think is important to show not only the way we lean and the way that we are fans of
Hmm.
the game, but also just where the game is going. But I did want to ask, kind of bring up one more topic about college football going into next year.
Yeah.
So we've seen all the transfer portal moves and everything, and we've seen players signing their national intent. We're
Yep.
going more towards the way of getting players out of the transfer portal than high school players. I wanted to ask you, Mitch, who is your who's your sleeper college team coming next year? Who is the Indiana that comes out of nowhere?
I'm very glad you asked this because I actually did a way too early top 10 that I didn't know if we was going to be able to talk about yet.
Hit it.
So I'm not going to bring up the whole top 10, but
Okay.
at number 10, I have Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Now you might ask why. There's
I
one
will.
singular reason. It's Drew Mestemaker. Without a doubt, he was the best quarterback in the transfer portal. Brennan Sorsby's awesome. I think Levitt's a little bit overrated. Still awesome though.
Hmm.
But dude, like if you've like, and he's from North, like he played at North Texas as a true freshman, right? No one
Yep.
cares about North Texas. Go watch some film. If you haven't seen him, Tony, anybody that's listening, go watch some Drew Mestemaker highlights and tell me he is not the most pro-ready freshman quarterback you've ever seen and wasn't the number one transfer quarterback this year. Like
Yeah.
the dude will make like North Texas was I think 11-2 and
Yep.
they didn't just win, dude. They ran the brakes off of people. Like they
Hmm.
scored 70 points like 3 times. It's certified like bro, such a stud.
Yeah. Is it crazy that I have Oklahoma State right here on my iPad because of Drew?
Do you?
Because of how, yeah, because of just how, because you asked if I watched tape, brother. I was hoping this guy was going to transfer to IU. I'm happy we got Josh Hoover.
I was so excited that he did not go to IU because I did
Yeah.
not want to replay. Like I was like, dude, if they get him, we're done
Yeah.
for. Like the whole Big Ten's done for.
Yeah. And I genuinely think in college football, man, if you've got the right quarterback and you got that guy, bro, your team is just on a different level.
Yeah,
Like I think because we talk about Oklahoma State, not like a super well like I know more about Oklahoma State when it comes to basketball when I
yeah.
think of like Marcus
I
Smart.
mean, they've been really good at college baseball the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Like you
But
don't,
it's
you don't think of them as a powerhouse football program ever. Like Barry
yeah,
Sanders, I think, is the only actual name to come out of there in 20, 30 years.
yeah. And it's just crazy to see that these teams that aren't typically football schools are
getting guys like that.
becoming or getting the way, right? So, and that's really cool. I don't know Drew's story, so I don't know if Drew's like from Oklahoma or if that's why he went there, or if they probably just paid him the most amount of money.
Dude,
Don't get me
I think
wrong.
it was just he was way too good to be at North Texas.
I mean, it's
And
valid.
like, I mean, he threw for like 7,000 yards and like almost 60 touch. Like, that damn near's that. If he doesn't play at North Texas, he's the Heisman without a doubt. It's not even close. Like, you don't even bring three others to New York.
That's valid. Yeah. Wow.
Like, I
And
just think it was him being too good that he had to transfer. And it shocks me that I haven't looked at all of his offers he got out of the portal, but if Oklahoma State was truly the best offer, that's also very shocking.
valid. And I like I said, I've seen his tape. I watch North Texas. I watched them a lot when I'd go to play trivia at the bar on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Because it would just be playing it'd replay North Texas games, and I'd be like, "Why? What's happening?" But this dude's a dog.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
And speaking about Drew, I know I'm gonna bet the shit out of his Heisman this year.
yeah.
Like, I don't know what Oklahoma State's got going on around him, but
hmm
I saw what he did at North Texas, and like, you got to assume his weapons at Oklahoma State are going to be better.
Yeah. Mark that down, everyone. Check out Drew for the
That's
Heisman.
my that's my first bet of the year. I'm putting in Drew Mestamaker's Heisman.
Mestamaker. Such a cool name, bro. And I mean, honestly, if you like just going into that Heisman, they're just kind of like briefly talking about that. If you'd have told me Fernando Mendoza was going to win the Heisman at the beginning of the year, I'd have told you you're lost, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So to take someone with Drew's talent that you know is going to a school that hopefully can put a team around him. I mean, bro,
Yeah,
11-2 at North Texas, man, you got to be able to come create a program. So
yeah, and obviously
sick.
you got the whole skill gap going up a conference. Like, I think Oklahoma State's Big 12 or
Yeah,
no?
Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big 12.
So like, you're gonna have a skill gap to who he's
hmm
playing against. But I mean, I don't think super highly of the Big 12, so I don't think it's not like going and playing the Big 10 or the SEC.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything besides coaching and injuries holding him back from at least getting to New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah. So if you hear it here first from Mitch Burley,
Yes,
bet
sir.
Oklahoma State over and wins. Take Drew Mestam. I can't even say his name. You want to say it? Drew what?
Mestamaker.
Mestamaker to win the Heisman. So those are some early predictions, and I think it's just great to look at sleepers. And honestly, we would love to hear our listeners' feedback. So
Yeah.
please, in the comments on our Instagram at Show Your Work Boys on Instagram and YouTube, and then with Show Your Work Podcast, I gotta plug it on TikTok. Please, like we want to hear your feedback. We want to hear this. We want to hear the topics and just what you think about what we're saying, right? Because
Yeah.
either we're fools or we're smart. There's really no in between right now.
Yeah. And we're gonna
And
look like fools on a lot of things, and we're gonna look smart on a lot of things. But
yeah,
that's the
honestly,
point of the
yeah.
show.
When Oklahoma State goes 3-10 and
And Drew Mestamaker's benched in week 3.
it's not going to look great for the boys, but we
Yeah.
move. Last thing on college football, Mitch, because we've got a couple other topics that I really, at least want to like touch on before,
Mhm.
we get through. Who's your national championship next year? You just said you made a top 10 list. You're
Why
an
are you
Ohio
even
State
asking
guy,
me? Why are you even asking me?
but I want to know why, because I know what your answer is, but I want to know why Ohio State's they're gonna return to glory.
Second year Julian Sayin starting the whole year. It was a little, he wasn't even shaky to begin the year. He had his
Mhm.
moments against Texas and everything, and his first, I think he handled the spotlight, the magnitude of being the Ohio State starting quarterback very well throughout the whole year. And he played really good for the most part. I would like to see a little bit more ability in pocket presence. I think that's the worst part of his game, which is nitpicking, but I would love to see that. I think second year Julian Sayin is going to be really good. I don't see why he doesn't go back to New York.
Mhm.
I think we're going to have a dynamic duo in the backfield. Isaiah West and Bo Jackson were both studs as freshmen, especially Bo Jackson. The offensive line plays a little bit into that. I know we're returning Carson Hinsman, and one or two others, and I think we got 2 or 3 out of the portal as well. Not any huge names, but guys that should help. And they're reloading the whole defense. We're having obviously Sonny's getting drafted, McDonald's getting drafted, Arvell's getting drafted, Caleb Downs is getting drafted. Like, you got everybody getting drafted on the defense, and that was the number one mission, it seems like, from the portal transfers we've had so far, is to
Yeah.
go rebuild that defense, which is really important. I think retaining Patricia is huge. Patricia was a big factor again into that defense being so well.
Yep.
I think the Arthur Smith signing, I'm I'm both ways about it. I love it in the fact that it's going to be a more run heavy and sustainable offense instead of just banking on big plays.
Hmm.
Um, I also think that, I mean, the FedEx money doesn't hurt at all. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, his dad founded FedEx. You got to assume we're getting some of that as a kickback.
Yep.
Um, but not a super successful track record in the NFL. So that worries me a little bit. But other than that,
Hmm.
like, I think we're reloading the way we should. Definitely going to make the playoff without a doubt. And I think we're going to win it, especially with Julian coming back, Jeremiah's coming back, signing Chris Henry. Hopefully he doesn't pull some bull crap in the portal, but you
Yeah.
know,
No. Then Ohio State is going to be a team to be reckoned with next year in a very deep conference, the Big Ten.
yes.
Because for me,
Let me.
on the
You mind
record,
if I guess?
you can guess you're going to be wrong.
I think your Big Ten championship and Natty is going to be IU.
So I hate to do this, but no.
Interesting.
I hate
Okay,
to
go
do
ahead.
this.
Go
But
ahead.
the issue is the three best teams in college football reside in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
For me, Ohio State and Indiana next year are interchangeable at 2 and 3. I it is how you want to. It's you're probably going to put them at 2. I'd put IU at 2. Here's
I'm
where my
just.
issue.
I just want to see who you're going to put at one.
Well, the issue is that in 2027, your national champion will be the Oregon Ducks.
I don't
The
hate
way
it. That
the
was
the way the Oregon Ducks are reloading this team and they get Dante Moore back, hopefully with a little more, because he just needs some time, man.
Mhm.
He's played 20 some games in his career. Dude, like this guy, as you said, if he was in the draft this year, he's probably number one. And I'm not going to lie, he's got the skill set for it.
Mhm.
Them reloading their running back, their wide receiver room, their defense is going to be better this year, I hope. Dan Lanning has a plan. And it freaks me out because Kurt Signetti put belt to ass on those boys. And I think he's coming with vengeance. And
Bad. Yeah.
but as a sports guy, it would be wrong for me to just go bias into this. I want to be true to what I think,
Okay.
and I think
Little shot
Oregon's
at
going to
me.
win.
I see it. I see.
Yeah, a shot at you for sure. Um, but I think Oregon wins the national championship, and I think that the Big Ten reigns. And honestly, they might not win the Big Ten championship. It could be
Hmm.
Ohio State, it could be Indiana,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I think the dance is what happens, and I think that Oregon takes the national championship in 2027.
I don't hate it. That was really the only other team that I genuinely thought you can confidently pick at this point in time.
Yeah.
Iowa's always going to have a good defense. I don't really worry about them.
No.
IU's going to be right back at it just because Signetti.
Yep.
Um, Nebraska lost Rayola, so they're kind of a right now. Um, I mean, I don't think Underwood takes a huge step in his second year. He seemed like he had a ton of stuff to work on. Um, he's gonna be good. Like he's gonna be
Hmm.
awesome. I just don't know when it happens.
Yeah.
Um, Michigan could be sneaky next year.
Yep.
They could be.
And yeah, and I think you also think of like schools in the SEC, man. Alabama, I think Kalen DeBoer, and I'm a big Kalen DeBoer guy, former IU guy. I just don't I don't think I don't think Alabama's going to move the way they need to move or the way they have been moving with him.
Yeah.
I don't think LSU is in the right space with Lane Kiffin. I don't hate the hire. I just think a lot happened, right? I really like Ole Miss. I like Pete Golding, but also I've heard
Yes.
that Pete Golding has had some issues in the transfer portal telling players that they will start, but then other
Yeah.
players are coming back. So I think there's going to be a lot of revolving doors in the SEC. where I just think the Big Ten, I do, if Oregon does not win the national championship, which I believe they will, but if Oregon does not win the national championship, I think the national champion will reside in the Big Ten, whether it's
I,
IU, whether it's Ohio State.
I think it's one of those three, and then I would also throw Georgia's hat in the mix.
Fair enough.
You can never count Kirby out.
Yeah.
I
Gamer.
Gunner coming back. Gunner's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not the best slinger of the football, but dude's so much heart and like plays with such good
Oh, yeah.
intangibles. Like love Gunner. So I think those four are really the only three I think of right now as having like a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
If Kiffin can get the locker room under control and message come across exactly the way he wants, that would probably be my fifth. But other than that, like I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have anybody else that I'm on the lookout for.
Yeah, Oklahoma State, obviously, but
They're not going to win the Natty, but
yeah, they might have the Heisman.
they might have the Heisman. Yeah,
They might mess around and have the Heisman, might mess around and make the college football playoffs when they extend it to 104 teams.
yeah. Just make it all FBS schools.
Yeah.
38 play-in games.
The way college football is moving is crazy, which excites me for that next season.
Yeah,
So really looking forward to it. Yeah, I think that college football, is going to be great, and I'm excited to continue to talk about it, continue to update our rankings, and just see what we do. Maybe build a board as the weeks goes on, and just see
yeah. You can build a
lead to
board.
that season. So I think before I get into the next topic, kind of like the big subject, Mitch, would
Hmm.
you be honored to read something from our sponsors?
Yeah, I would love it. This episode is brought to you by Justin Rose. Um, Last year during the Masters, bet on him. Took a chance, first round leader in the Masters. Done it a couple times before. It was him or Jordan Spieth. I was deciding between, but went ahead and picked Justin Rose, and he 100x my money. I love you, Rosie.
Shout out Justin Rose, and honestly, that's a perfect segue into what because we're about to talk PGA.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think a lot of podcasts miss out that golf is a sport, man, which is a hot topic. 'Cause some people say it's a game,
Bro, golf's
but
not
I
just a
love
sport. Like,
it's a
golf.
lifestyle.
I mean, I think it's a force to be reckoned with. Like the TGL and everything.
Hmm.
I think the growth of the game, at least for me, it's something that I haven't really witnessed with any other sport in my lifetime
Yeah.
grow as fast as I feel golf was growing. I mean, obviously you had Tiger. Tiger was the first big kick for golf. Now you're getting guys like Scotty. You got Rory right after Tiger. Like Bryson is doing all this YouTube stuff. It's
Hmm.
awesome. And I mean, Bob Does Sports might be the most profitable
Yeah.
YouTube video podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going crazy.
For sure. And I will say that it's just a segue for anyone listening who might be my friend. If my birthday's coming up, and if there's one thing I want for my birthday, it's a Bob Does Sports cameo. Don't get me wrong.
Dude.
Brilliantly done, baby. But no, like golf is trending such in the right direction. And when you think of golf, like usually like the way I think of it is just like the PGA Tour, right? And
Hmm.
we're gonna talk about PGA Tour winners, what the future might look for majors, but dude, like golf is just expanded because you've got YouTube golf, PGA. I'm gonna get suspended from the PGA Tour after I say this, but Live Golf, me and Wesley Bryan are now suspended.
Shout out
Um,
Wesley. It was
Shout out
funny.
free Wesley. But I do think that like it's crazy because like I will say in high school I was like I don't think I'll ever like enjoy like I don't think I'd ever go out there like that just kind
Yeah.
of looks like. But now I mean you and I could talk about it. I mean we kind of became friends out of golf like and we
Yeah.
we got out and I play like every weekend when it's warm. So just where the game is trending is amazing. And I kind of wanted to talk to you and see your thoughts just how the season has started so far. We've had such an electric season with Scotty winning the Amex, with
Hmm.
Chris Gotterup winning the last tournament, with Justin Rose winning the Farmers
Waste
Insurance. Just
management. Yeah.
yeah, the waste management. What are your thoughts on how the season has started? Batia's leading right now. Akshay
Yeah.
Bhatia is
Akshay is going
leading.
crazy.
Yeah. What are your
I
thoughts?
mean, I love it so far. You gotta love Scotty winning.
Yeah.
I think Scotty will probably, and this is gonna piss a lot of people off that are really hardcore golf fans, but I think Scotty's more important to the game than Rory is right now.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know if that's because I'm just like I just got into golf the last 2, 3, 5 years
Hmm.
or so, but I don't know. He seems more likable. He seems more like a regular dude. Rory, and not to discredit Rory, like Rory was in the spotlight as like a 10-year-old kid going on, what was it, like the late night show, chipping
Yep.
in balls into the washing
Yep.
machine.
Prodigy. Prodigy.
Yeah. So like, I don't know if that has any factor into it, but I mean, I think Scotty's really important for golf. I think he's our generation's Tiger. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's pivot a little bit to the PGA and Live, sort of having that rivalry. What do you think about Brooks Koepka coming back to the tour?
Man. I think when I watch golf, okay, I tried to start watching golf in college and I was like,
Hmm.
nah, this stinks. But now that I kind of play it and I kind of get it, it's really fun. My opinion is when I watch golf, it's like watching the NBA or the NFL. I want to be watching the premier players play
Yeah,
at the same time. So Brooks Koepka coming back to the PGA means a lot to me because I want to see the best golfers golf,
yeah,
right? Do I think the stipulations were a little tough? I get it. Playing 4 years on Live. I mean, Live is the rival, right? And kind of going back to what you're saying about like Rory. Rory's been an ambassador for PGA, so like he's had to be the ambassador, the bridge between this stuff. So I'm really excited to see Brooks back. I've watched Brooks play in two tournaments now, and he
hmm,
has made the cut. Both he made the cut in the Amex, and they didn't,
yeah,
or no, and it was either the Amex or the Farmers, and then he came back in the Waste Management. He didn't play super. I don't think he made the cut because the cut moved to like
yeah,
-1. But I think it's best for the game because I think that's what you need. You need the best players playing at the same. So if there's a way that we can get the Bryson DeChambeaus back, I know Patrick Reed's coming back to PGA. If we can get the Cam Smiths, the John Rahms back, all playing together.
hmm.
I mean, for me, just find the stipulations, figure it out. They'll donate money to charity. Maybe they'll give money to our podcast as a sponsor.
Be
But
pretty cool.
so that's my thoughts on it. I just think that it's better for the game to have the best players play in one area.
No, I agree. I think Live was trying to do something good for the game of golf. Obviously,
Yeah.
PGA hates them because they're a rival, everything like that. They were trying to do something good. I don't know if they didn't execute it well enough or
Hmm.
if team golf just isn't as fun to watch because I just saw something the other day. Bryson was like Bryson and Rahm were tied for first as individual leaders,
Yeah.
but Bryson's team was in dead last in the standings.
Yep.
So it's like you got guys like Bryson and Rahm who are always going to be at the top of the leaderboard for Live, but they're not getting rewarded the same. And it's not a monetary reward because they don't care where they finish at because they're not going to
Hmm.
get you don't get a purse for Live events. You just get paid up front or however they
Yeah.
do it with Live.
Yeah.
But it's got to be demoralizing and just not as fun to shoot 19 under like Bryson has through 3 days and be
Hmm.
in that race with Rom when you know technically my team's not going to win and I'm not going to win the tournament because my team's shooting like shit.
Yeah. I think that so my roommates went to a live event and they said it was hype. And I've heard that they are hype, like the music and everything, like it's a
Hmm.
revolutionary thing for golf. I just like you said, the execution just has not been there. Like if you
Yeah.
think about it, they were playing in Riyadh this last week. I know their last round just ended. I need to go look at who won.
Hmm.
But Riyadh is, I mean, across the world, different
Yeah.
time zone. So all the stuff is at like I think they started broadcasting at like 10 p.m. Right? So where the
Jesus.
PGA, yeah, but where the PGA is playing all their events, in the morning or the afternoon. And honestly, so for PGA Live, like Live being in Riyadh, like it's weird because like the timing of when Live is, you never know. Like you know that they were playing 54 holes, now they're playing 72, but they're not playing at consistent times. Where the PGA is Thursday through Sunday, playing starting at 8 a.m. or starting at 10 a.m., right? And you're able to see those. And then on the weekends, you've got that time to lounge, right? I think that just the discrepancy in that it just Live can't compete because yeah, they can pay out of the Saudi money that they have, right? Or the Saudi money
Hmm.
that they have, right? But at the end of the day, you have to make a revenue. That is a for-profit thing. And if you're not
Yeah.
making revenue, you're not gonna be able to pay the players. And it honestly stinks for the players too, Now, I understand they went and made a bag and then they're going to come back to the PGA Tour. That's great for them. But like, if Live gets destroyed, what is going to happen to the players that are still with Live when Live is done, right? Like, because they never left before it was done. So I think the
Yeah.
PGA is going to punish them even more. So I do think that, again, PGA is always going to be the premier league of what's going on. Live is kind of that thought, but YouTube golf is also ascending, right? So I'm also a big YouTube golf. I'm a big Bob to Sports, good. I love watching the Bryan Bros. I love watching Taco Golf,
Yeah.
Quan, all the guys from New Zealand. So the Internet Invitational was amazing. So that's just kind of
Yeah.
what.
The Internet Invitational, I think, at least my thoughts right now, the Internet Invitational might be the closest thing to rivaling any viewership the PGA Tour is ever going to run into
Oh yeah,
problems with. And it's not because all those players are better or could compete with any of them. Almost none of them could. I think the only one that's an exception is Dalkey. Like he's probably the only one that could actually make a cut on tour ever.
yep.
Uh, but like just because it's so much more accessible and there's so much more content and it's more fun and interactive, like you can type in the comments, you like they might see it and take your idea and do it. Like I
Hmm.
think that's the only thing that really would ever rival the PGA Tour for viewership, and it's a completely separate thing, so people wouldn't just be watching YouTube golf, they would be
Yeah,
watching both, so it might help them more than hurt them.
I think there's a way PGA could partner with it because I just want to share. I just looked this up, some numbers. The first episode of the Internet Invitational, when it was all 48 golfers,
Hmm.
7.1 million views. Episode 6, 3.4 million views. Episode 4, 3.5 million views. Episode 3, 4 million views. 5.2 million views for episode 2, right? So that is an insane amount of people who are
Yeah.
gravitating towards this game. And I understand the PGA, they have their standards and everything. I get it, right? You want to tuck in your shirt. You want to tuck in your polo, wear long pants.
Gotta wear pants.
I
Yep.
I get it. But there's also you got to grow the game or the game's
Yeah.
going to die.
Yeah.
Like PGA will get boring. So partner with the people. But
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
I like it. All
Oh
right,
my
Tony, you
goodness.
want to go ahead and transition us into our next? You got an ad read for us?
Oh my goodness. I would love to. So show your work. I want to tell you that I don't have an ad and I don't have a sponsor, but I'm begging for a sponsor. Something that I love to get in the mornings when I just need like some fuel or I need to get through a podcast. Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. I love Dunkin' Donuts. So, Dunkin', if you're hearing this, or if anyone knows someone who works at Dunkin', please sponsor us. I need some free bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. Unfortunately, they ran out of bagels this morning, which probably doesn't help my ad read. But, Dunkin', this is for you.
Love it. All right, let's move on to college basketball.
Woo!
You know, I've I used to watch a ton of college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Still watch it here and there, but this is really where you shine and you get to really show your expertise, show your work, as one would
Show my
say.
show my work. So, I think there's layers of college basketball. Something that I know you can absolutely address. NIL. We just talked about it with college
Hmm.
football. College basketball is going in a weird direction. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen it. I know you said you're
Yep.
not like a huge follower of it, but there are players who have either been on an NBA roster or played in the G League and they're coming back to college.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Hmm. I mean, Paul Pierce technically has 4 years eligibility, so
Oh my goodness, Braun. Wait till Braun's
that's what I'm
45.
saying, dude. Like,
But I, it's weird for the game, and I was talking about it with one of my roommates. Where do we go from here? Like it's like college football. You have to have a commissioner of the
yep.
sport. There's got to be lawyers involved. Like there's got to be a line that we cross with
Hmm.
NIL. There's got to be that line where it's like, dude, go get a bag. Go get a bag
Yeah.
from BYU, AJ DeBanza. Like that's
Hmm.
why you're going to BYU. You're not going to BYU because sorry, nothing against BYU, but AJ DeBanza was not going to BYU if it wasn't for the 8 million they
No,
tacked on to him, right?
no.
Like, uh, but we can't be taking these. I don't care if they're 21 years old and if they went and played or got drafted to the NBA. No, You can go back and get your degree. Please go back and get your degree.
I
Please go
agree.
back. Get your degree. I will involve everyone. Get a degree. Do what like if college is your route, go get your degree. If
Yeah.
it's not, then don't. But don't come back and play in the sport. It hurts it hurts my soul knowing that I almost had to watch an Alabama game at 9 p.m. and watch a man, Charles Bediako, who played in the NBA, almost come back and play in a college game. And Nate Oates, the coach, is standing on business like, I want him
Yeah.
to play for me. Bro,
Yeah.
stop. But so that's one way that it's going. I mean, also college basketball right now, we're getting really close to March Madness, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited for because I don't know if you know this, Mitch, but the Final Four is in Indianapolis.
Always is.
It's not no, but it's hosted in Indianapolis.
Isn't there always like March Madness games in Indianapolis?
So there's usually we'll host like a site, but this year we get the Final Four, which we haven't done
Okay,
since I
okay.
think
I,
we
that's
have,
what I meant. Like, there's always
yeah,
tournament games in Indianapolis.
yep. And honestly, since like the COVID year of when everything was in Indy, which was amazing, and then
Yeah.
also when I think Duke and Wisconsin played, because I went with my dad, that was sick. So with like I know with March Madness coming up, there's a lot of like sleeper teams. There's a lot of teams who are good, but they're probably going to get knocked out in the first round. So I don't know exactly what research you've done with basketball, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about just some of the teams who have been kind of eye-opening for me, who I think
Yeah.
could make a deep run in March Madness. Is
Can I
that
go ahead and
is
give
that
one of mine first? Because I
please
didn't,
do.
I don't, I don't have a college basketball bag like you do.
Thanks, bro.
The one, the one thing I wanted to talk about, and it's
Yeah.
literally just bringing it up to give to you to talk about because
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on. Miami of Ohio,
Ooh, that was on my
undefeated,
teams.
undefeated. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's an NIL thing. I don't know if they've been building something and I'm ignorant to. I don't know what is going on. I don't know if it's just the MAC that they're
Sure.
destroying on. I just don't know what's going on with them. So I definitely wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually one of my sleeper teams. So it kind of goes in the topic of the
Perfect.
topic. Miami of Ohio. So they're 25-0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're hooping, and I would like to say they've got a guy on their team, Peter Suter, who is a Carmel grad. I
Okay.
just realized this a while ago. I don't know. I keep track of Indiana high school hoops and high
Mm-hmm.
school sports in general. So just
Yeah.
seeing people go to college is kind of dope. Miami of Ohio's got a squad, and what I mean is they've got a squad because they don't play anybody.
Okay.
No, Mitch, and I mean this. I mean this.
I mean, like, I
Uh,
know they got Akron and like Ohio University. Like, yeah.
I mean this with the utmost respect. They don't play anyone,
Okay.
but that's where I align of you just got to play who's in front of you, and they
Mm-hmm.
do a great job of playing in who's in front of them. I
Fair.
mean, 25-0, the only undefeated team left in college basketball. It's a story for itself, and I have them. I just talked to my roommate about this. I was like, can they do? I think I mean, you put them against like an all major team, like you give them
Mm-hmm.
like a Clemson, or you give them a team that might be like an 8 or a 7 seed.
Yeah.
Shoot, I bet you 95% of the world's putting Miami of Ohio to win that game on the bracket. Right? And that's without
Yeah.
even any research, but they move the ball really well. They score a lot of points. That's kind of where I would just dive in and talk about them. Like their guard play is really good, and you need guard play in college basketball to win. And they just do it really well. And like I said, they don't play anybody.
Yeah.
Like it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of how the sport is. With your football background, college football teams don't play anybody when it starts to like their non-conference. You
Yeah.
play who you play, you walk out 3-0, you move.
Shout out Notre Dame losing to NIU after paying them $1 million.
Exactly. So yeah, Miami. I actually just watched a Miami of Ohio game with one of my roommates, and it was, I think they played Ohio, and I mean they're a different team. Like
Mhm.
they shouldn't be the way they're recruited, the way they play. They shouldn't be in the MAC. They should be playing in a bigger conference. But that's just for this year. I don't know their history. That's something where I'd
Yeah.
have to actually go deep in my bag. So yeah, that's what I think on Miami of Ohio. Have you looked into them at all? You seen just anything fun?
No, it was literally like me looking at the rankings before this and being like, how the fuck is Miami of Ohio in the top 25?
Oh my goodness! Here, I'll read you their schedule from the pet because I
I
just
I
had it
did
pulled
look at their
up.
schedule. It's like Kent State, Akron, Ohio University. Like, yeah, you're right. It's not good.
Yeah, like if I look at their coming like their next coming up games, you've got Bowling Green.
Yep.
One of my cousins almost went to Bowling Green. Eastern Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Western Michigan. So you just two Michigan teams. You hate Michigan, so that's fair. Toledo. One of my
Yeah.
good friends goes to Toledo, and then and then they play Ohio again. So
Yeah.
like in basketball, they're not playing anybody, man. You know, like
And
there are a lot of like a lot
they're
of
not gonna schedule games against Duke or UK. Like,
yeah. Because why would you? Because you don't
yeah.
need to. You're just playing who plays in front of you. Now, I will say that Miami of Ohio and like the MAC conference,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I don't know if anyone's looked at this. Big soccer, men's and women's, big soccer
Really?
programs out there. Yep, yep. I actually watched a couple Toledo soccer games this year. They have
Huh.
squads, so yeah.
All right. Well, what else do you want to hit on for NCAA? We got to wrap
I
up here soon.
no, it's valid. Do you know anything about like the young guys in NCAA or the basketball? Like, have you looked at the draft class at all?
I know the big three. I know AJ, I know Cam Boozer, and I know the guard from Kansas. I can't remember his name right now.
Uh, yeah, freaking Darren Peterson.
Peterson? Yeah.
Darren Peterson.
Yeah.
The only thing I would really touch on is just for the fans is really take a look at that because it directly goes with what's happening in the NBA right now in the tankathon. There are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of NBA teams getting fined right now. The Pacers should not have get fined, but they did. These three guys, and I heard Kendrick Perkins talking about it, like that they're not generate these three players, and there's Caleb Wilson as well. There's a couple guys.
Yeah.
There are 5 or 6 guys in this draft class to me that are generational,
Yeah.
and there are
That
like
changed the
15 or
outlook of a franchise. Yeah.
and there are 15 to 16 dudes that you put generational in there, but you also put like they're going to play great roles in the NBA. And you don't see that often with draft classes because usually there's a lot of busts and a lot of misplaces.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that Darren Peterson's going through his injuries, DeBance's hooping, Cam Boozer's hooping. These boys, I need one of those three on the Pacers. That's all I got to say. I need to see one of them in a Pacers uniform and next to Tyrese, and we're running it. But that's really, I mean, besides just March Madness scale of, we'll probably get more into that as the podcast go, as you know, the
Yeah,
rankings continue to
for
drop.
sure.
But like, we're still early February.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Mitch, I honestly wanted to. So NCAA basketball, right? And you said we're, coming up on time. I don't want to put a time on us, but I
Yeah,
also
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get into one of the last things that I wanted to hear about. But
Mm-hmm.
before we jump into that topic, would you be okay doing an ad read for Show Your Work
Yeah, I
podcast?
got you. I got an ad read. All right. This episode is brought to you by Sean Burley, my little brother. Um, he reached out after I told him I was making a podcast with Tony, and he said he wanted to sponsor us. I I think he wants to sponsor us because he's a little upset that I didn't ask him to do a podcast with me. But hopefully he'll stop complaining at some point, get over it, and actually sponsor us or do a podcast with me. Um, yeah, that's all I got for the ad read. Shout out my little brother.
Hey, shout out, little bro. But the last topic I really wanted to hop into, just kind of because we're jumping into the season, is the MLB,
Mm-hmm.
right? I know that the MLB is also one of those sports, kind of like golf, that's, you either really want to watch it or you're like, bro, why am I going to watch 182 games
Yep.
of baseball? But something that's trending in the game of baseball is the salary cap idea and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I kind of just wanted to hear your thoughts on kind of where the game is trending and what the Dodgers are doing that's kind of it's either ruining or helping the game. But I just want to hear from your perspective.
Yeah, the Dodgers unfortunately aren't doing anything different than what we've seen in the past. Before it was the
Hmm.
Yankees. The Yankees been known to spend money on players and just buy World Series rings. There's nothing new, but you got to do something about it. Like
Yeah.
I saw something the other day. The Miami Marlins actually made more money this last MLB season than the Dodgers.
Well,
That's because they only spent 27% of their cap space.
okay.
So they're not even trying. Like, in a sense, they're not trying at all. They're not trying to compete with the Dodgers. They're just trying to be a very average team and make money, which is horseshit. You gotta You got to enforce a cap floor. You got to incentivize people for spending more money. And when you go over, you got to decentivize that with something other than taxes because everybody that has that much money does not care. The Dodgers owner is not going to say, "Oh, well, I spent 10 billion on my roster. You're only going to tax me 50 billion or 50 million. That don't matter to me. That's nothing." Like
Yeah.
that can't be the fix. And I think that goes directly into Bob Manfred, who is historically one of the worst commissioners of any major league division, any major league sports league. Like the dude, it feels like he doesn't care. Like he tried to speed up the game because he thought that was the biggest thing with viewership was,
Hmm.
oh, the games take too long. There's 5 hour games sometimes that go to 20 innings. Like
Yeah.
try to speed up the game. That did nothing for viewership. Like you enforce the pitch clock, you make the bases bigger. You now they're doing the balls and strikes where you can challenge. It it almost feels gimmicky. I If you want something that's not the traditional history of baseball, go watch Banana Ball. Banana Ball is completely different and it's awesome and it's wild, but it's not the people that actually want to watch a baseball game. They want to see the antics, they want to see the TikTok dances. Like there's a world where both exist and both perform awesome and it's
Hmm.
you can watch both if you are a diehard baseball fan because you want to watch traditional baseball or you want to switch it up and watch something else.
Yeah.
Banana Ball's Banana Ball's grown the game more than anything the MLB's ever done.
Yeah.
So like I don't know if Manfred definitely needs to be fired and like just run out of the chair position. But I don't have an answer to fixing baseball, unfortunately.
No, that's valid. And just kind of because I want to just, you're the expert to me in the MLB space. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong. I love baseball. I wasn't very good at it. My parents wanted me to play an indoor sport, so I did, right? I was pretty good at that one. Um, Knowing my intramural basketball league.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you, like, with the salary, like the idea of salary cap and stuff, like, I've never understood why in baseball you can get like either a 10-year contract or like a lifetime contract. Like, I feel like that there's got to be a fix. Like, because I think that that's what helps the NBA and NFL because there's restrictions on years. But it
Yeah.
feels like in baseball you can just give someone a 29-year contract.
Hmm.
So what? So like, how do you fix that, or is that something do you think needs to be fixed?
I don't know if that's directly the issue
Mm-hmm.
because when you do that, so like Bobby Bonilla, no, you've never heard of him. A lot of people have never heard of him. He got
Yep.
paid a crazy contract through the Mets, and what you can do with those 15-year contracts is you can defer them. So like Shohei just recently is the most famous one that got deferred, but
Yep.
Bonilla's got deferred, so the Mets will pay him. I don't remember the exact number. It's like $1 million every year till like 2030,
Yeah.
and he hasn't played since like 95.
Yep.
Like it's something crazy like that. So you can defer all those contracts, which technically decentivizes you from making those long-term contracts. Like, okay, so Shohei did it, and all the Dodgers players just kind of figured out a new go around. But they're deferring all the money. They're making so Shohei's contract, he gets paid like 1 million or 2 million per year while he's still playing.
Yep.
It's because of taxes. It's because he's not actually going to get the full contract if he's because he's playing in LA. The taxes were a lot worse than most other states.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is they gave him a signing, not a signing bonus, but a bonus to when he retires. They deferred all that extra money to when he retires so he can move wherever he wants, Japan, wherever, like if he goes back to Japan and he
Yep.
gets a more of a majority of that money. And they can spend more money on the roster now and have to figure out the money that he's owed later. So, like, there's a ton of workarounds. And again, I don't know the answer to it. I think the floor is a good idea. I think a more harsh cap is another good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, other than that, I don't know.
No, that's valid. And I think that, I mean, that's just with evolving. The game's got to evolve. And like what you're saying is the game isn't evolving as much. It's kind of like you think about it like the with the Savannah Bananas. Is that what you're talking? So
Hmm.
the with that, like I mean, that's kind of like what YouTube Golf is doing for PGA. There's got to
Yeah.
be evolution of what's going on.
Yep.
Um, and just kind of the last thing that like I wanted to ask you on because like I'm I'm like an amateur ball knower when it comes to
Okay.
baseball, but I want to know like besides the Dodgers because the Dodgers have a lot of money and they do whatever. Who are like some of the teams that like for our fans, like if you want to turn on baseball, who you trying to watch this year?
Yeah. I like so watching the team. You're not get the whole team's not going to be terrific unless you're watching the Dodgers, like
Yeah,
because they just spend so much.
yeah.
I love watching specific guys. I think Bobby Witt's really fun to watch.
Hmm.
Ellie's fun to watch when he plays good. Unfortunately, it's hit or miss if he plays good that day or not. Like I
Yep.
remember I went to a game and he went 0 for 5, 5 Ks, had 3 errors, and I was like, dude, what? But I like so if you just want to watch to be entertained and you don't want to like actually sit down and watch an entire baseball game because you have a team, I would pick players to watch who are the most exciting, the most fun. Um, Paul Skeens is a good one. Whenever
Hmm.
Shohei throws, it's awesome because he also hits. So he's gonna throw 8 Ks on the mound and hit
Yep.
2 nukes. Um, but yeah, I think watching specific players, if you're trying to get into baseball, is definitely the first step instead of just picking a team, like whatever team's closest to you, because they might be trash. Like they might be the Marlins, they might be the Pirates. Like you're not gonna have fun watching those guys every day.
No, that's valid, and I think that that is wonderful just to know because I think that especially as we go on, we're going to talk about we're going to try to hit every sport and we're going to try to
Hmm.
hit as much as we can, right? So we want to just put in perspective just who to watch, where to watch, just to stay along, just so y'all can,
Yep.
um, you know, critique our work because we're going to show it, right? But y'all can show your work too. So I think that just having that MLB conversation and just figuring out, because I'm a Yankees fan. So when the Yankees were like good, doing what
I
the Dodgers were doing,
forgot.
yeah. Well, so the ties are my dad's from New York, and
Yeah.
that's just the one place that I bet that's the one time I've watched. So I watched the Yankees, and when we lost Juan Soto, that one hurt.
Judge is
But
good though. Judge is fun to
Judge is
watch.
good for sure. He doesn't perform in the playoffs normally, but
He did. I mean, he did a lot better this last year.
he did. But I think that the sport is hopefully we can turn in the right direction. We can talk. It's just a good time to be a sports fan. I know the
It
sports
is.
are kind of dying down at the time, but it's going to be on the come up. So, Mitch, I just appreciate the hear from the MLB, and I hope that as we go on, you can continue. Hopefully, this guy gets fired, and maybe we can hire you.
Definitely don't hire me.
Okay,
I don't know. I
okay,
don't know what I'm doing. Um,
okay.
but yeah, he's not the answer. He's never been the answer.
That's valid. Well, hey, that was our last like sports like topic segment, but I would like to introduce something fun, Mitch. Is that okay? Do I
Yeah.
have reign
Let's
to
hear
do
it.
that?
Let's hear it.
I would like to do something that we do weekly, and I want to call it just the Show Your Work Best Bets, where you and
Like
I,
it.
we share a couple, of things that we see coming along the sports world that, maybe you should, again, we are not pros. We do not tell you exactly what to do, but what we might do in the bet world is what we might do. So Mitch, I was wondering if there are like two or three like legs or like areas that you want to bet on this year or just coming down the week.
Yeah. So I don't have anything for this specific week because we're like in the Great Depression of sports gambling and entertainment era. Like this is the worst time of the year to really pick any bets that
Yeah,
throughout the week. Like I always look ahead at futures rather than try and bet on a sport that I don't want. Like I'm not going to bet on freaking I don't even know women's hockey in the Olympics. I'm not going to do that.
you
It's just
could.
throwing money away. But I have two bets. One of them is a future, and one of them is a future parlay. Everyone's going to hate me for this. But my, my first bet is I'm I'm taking Japan to win the World Baseball Classic as a future.
Come on, man.
Now I know we're the U.S. is actually favorited this year pretty heavily to win
Yeah.
it, which is fair, and like I hope they win it. But
Hmm.
from a strictly financial and odds standpoint, I'm taking Japan. We saw it last World Baseball Classic. There was 3 to 6 dudes that no one had ever heard of that just came out of nowhere and played their asses off. You got the first baseman Morikawa, something like that,
Yeah.
who played terrific, and like it's just gonna happen again. So I think they're plus 410 right now. We don't want them to win it, so we want to cash that out like in the semifinals, or if they make it to the finals, cash it out and then put money on the U.S. because that's who we want to win. But I like sort of hedging it with Japan. I think they got a good shot, and
Yeah.
it's also, I mean, if it happens, it happens, and you cash
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like
For sure.
it's a moral hedge, you know.
For sure.
Second one I got, I really want to see a Scotty Slam.
Mm.
I really want to see I really want to see Scotty win every major. So my second bet is parlay every single major Scotty to win it.
That's have you done the math on what that wins you? Because that's got to win you something.
Dude, he's only plus like 300 to win every one.
Valid. He is number
So
one in the
it's
world.
nothing crazy.
He is number one in the world. I love those future bets, man. Future bets are great because you never know. Because you kind of forget about them in your bet slip, and
Yep.
then they just kind of pop up, and either you win money or you don't. That is kind of
It's
how the
like
gambling world works.
sometimes it's like Christmas in July, you know, you're on FanDuel and you see, oh, everyone 5 grand.
Or you check and you're like, oh no,
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's dead.
like what? You're like, what did I do? Yeah, no,
Someone
that's
stole my
amazing.
phone and put that in.
That's what's gonna happen when Drew doesn't win the Heisman. But on my best bets for the week, I've got three, and so I took the approach of I'm just going later in the week.
Okay.
So I want to let y'all know on Thursday, one of the biggest tankathon games in the year for the NBA. It's the Wizards and the Pacers, two of the worst records in the NBA. I like Wizards money line because I need my Pacers
To
to get
tank.
top three. So and I believe in it. It's going to be after All-Star break. Pascal was an All-Star, so I'm going whatever Wizards money line is. And I think I think that's in Washington. So we'll see how that goes. I also got Cavs play the Nets. Whatever the spread is, hammer the Cavs as they just got James Harden. The Nets stink. The Nets are terrible. They're also going to be a part of the tankathon. And then lastly, we talked about Miami of Ohio. Their
Mm-hmm.
next two games are at UMass and at home against Bowling Green. Give me Miami of Ohio by a
Yep.
million in
Yep.
both of those, dude. Oh my goodness. To get to 27-0, I think they might end the season undefeated. So those are kind of my best bets in the basketball world coming down the week.
Love it.
My goodness.
All right, Tony, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. This is going to be really fun. I'm excited for this journey that Mitch and I are going to take in the podcast world, and I hope that you all stick around just to see where we're going. We're going to learn as the days go on, so please drop any feedback in the comments. Again, our IG and our YouTube is Show Your Work Boys, and our TikTok is Show Your Work Podcast. So please check those out. The links will be in the description. Go check out our fun posts that we do every once in a while. I'm sure we're going to get some IRL content on a golf course as time goes on. So please just check us out. Thanks for joining in on episode 1 of Show Your Work Podcast, and we're out.
See you boys next week.